Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18, episode 54 of Unchained. Revelation reveals all lies and lies of omission. If I were you, I'd be pissed. Plus, I'm going to show you some new AI evidence that I've been working on of the vortex evidence, the photos, and some other things to back this up. Now, revelation means to reveal not only the mysteries or esoteric realities like heaven exists, but also it will reveal all the lies and omission of lies brought forth by the souls that have given themselves over to evil. This happens every time a civilization reaches the level of biblical revelation. Just now, people in general are realizing how much they have been lied to in the last 4 years of Biden's presidency, and also they are beginning to see how they have been misled over and over again by the politicians to be in a total reality of weakness. The last 4 years are just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to go back as far as 1998 and show you how I have been kept secret by the governing powers, by lies of omission. Sit back and listen. If I were you, as I said before, I'd be pissed. Okay, before I go on, remember, evil has kept the fantastic truth of Jesus and heaven and souls like myself who have come here to help humanity make the right choices that will save your souls from going to hell. And that's really what I'm all about, and I've been all about ever since I awoke in '88. From going to hell during Revelation. An easy action of proof, besides all the damage he did, as we all saw, Biden pardoned his whole family and colleagues like Fauci from ever being held accountable for all the laws they broke, payoffs they took, and evil damage they did to America and the world. Forever and ever. Why would you need a legal pardon if you never broke the law to begin with? Get it? Now let me go over the list of things that have kept humanity in the dark about myself, my discoveries, and my research, and Devron, so evil can take control without any hassle, without you thinking. First, I'm going to start off with the NASA letter. Start off slowly here. A lot of you know this. I've been putting it out since August 1998. And, hold on, what is that? All right. And where NASA threatened me not to change reality that's coming up. All the way to now. All the way to the apocalypse. And here's the letter in its total. Now, you've seen this before. I did a video on it. There's the whole letter as it came through. And as I said before, I don't know why the black part, like, covered the letters like that. I don't know what that is. But here is a close-up of it. And it says, I wish to tell you in strictest confidence that you are on the verge of something larger than you can handle. You can read it. And then it says it's not for me to change what's happening, which basically is saying I can. And they're right. They saw me stop the war in Bosnia in the spring of '96. They saw all that. So they know what I'm capable of. So I got that letter from NASA warning me not to do anything, that they've been watching me for some time. Okay. Right. Then, I made contact on February 10th, 1998, and on February 26th, Mensa, which is the genius organizations around the country and the world, contacted the Global Sciences Congress, which was the biggest and best in the country, when it came to paranormal, health, different types of health issues, how to fix yourself, and UFOs, and all that stuff. And they wanted me to come down there and speak. And I did on the 26th of February in Daytona. That was the first place that I broke the orb videos, the orb discovery to people, and they were blown away. All right. Now, I have to prove things. Oh, and the reason I'm proving it is I just got a letter from somebody yesterday that was challenging me, saying, how can you have done all this? How can you not be a fraud? How can you have done all this and the world doesn't know about it? You're not a household name. You didn't win the Nobel Prize for discovery, but I did try. And because I'm not a scientist, they wouldn't give me one. You got to be a fraud. You got to be, what's wrong with you? Oh, you're fucked up. And I wrote him back. But what I want to show you guys is, like, when I talk about what I've done and my evidence and all that, I have everything to back it up. Now, in August of 1998, in Denver, I broke the picture of the dinosaur at the Global Sciences Congress. And here, just to prove it, is the flyer for that particular event, right? August 2024, Denver, Colorado. And if you look at the very bottom on the right, the last picture, that's me. Here, matter of fact, I headlined it. It wasn't just, after that was it. I headlined it for 7 straight times until I said I don't want to do it anymore. Now, here's a close-up just so you can see here. There's my picture on the bottom right. It says Williams, Global Sciences, gives the dates and all that. And all the information you need is right there to prove that I've done this. So that alone started making me a household name in the communities of the paranormal and all that. People from all around the world came to see me. And since I was breaking that dinosaur, NASA had sent that letter before I left, telling me basically to stop for my own good, but I don't do things like that. I don't obey humanity. I obey heaven. Now, another one was in 2002, a big radio show. I think it was actor from the 70s, Carl Malden's son, who had this radio show. It was 38 states and like 18 million people listening to it every week. And he called me up out of the blue and wanted to do an hour-and-a-half interview with me because he heard about me. So I did it. And I even had Sandra out in my new Chevy truck, out in the driveway, listening to make sure that it did go over the airways, that they weren't just some government agency wasn't trying to just get information out of me. And she heard it. And we went through this, and the guy from the beginning was like, yeah, right, come on, and all that. I mean, he was really putting me down the whole time, and I'm like, I guess this is a setup to, make me look bad. So at the end, he goes, if you're this big predictor, and you've done all this, and you can predict the future, tell me something that's going to happen. Tell our audience. We have 18 million listeners. Tell our audience. So I aligned, and Devron came through in my head and told me, and then I said it. Now, this was February of 2001. February of 2001. And I stated, in September of 2001, a war will start. A long war. And if this event happens, the war in 2003 is set in stone. And he laughed and all that, and it went off. I never heard anything from people or anything. I didn't get any feedback. All of a sudden comes 9/11. And we saw what happened. All right? And because of 9/11, that started the war which was executed by President Bush in 2003. So the event happened, causing the war. The war in 2003 was set in stone, and Devron said it was going to be a long war, and it was. It was the longest war that the United States has ever been in. So we nailed it. When that happened, I got one letter, one email from somebody that heard the show saying, wow, you were right. One letter out of 18 million people. How the hell that happened, I have no idea. All right, but I do have the show recorded and all that. It's in my files, and eventually that'll come out. And he pushed mine and Devron's back against the wall at the end of this farce interview, and we came through in flying colors. Now, I asked Devron, I said, why didn't you tell me exactly what was going to happen? I could have helped people. And he said, number one, when you did the interview in February, it was not set on what day they were going to do this yet. They were still deciding. It wound up to be September 11th, right? And then he said, he goes, what would you have done if I told you? Would you have been there at 7 in the morning in front of the World Trade Center with a big sign telling everybody to evacuate, that it's going to be destroyed? They would have arrested you, and then after it was destroyed, they would have put you as the number one person that they think had something to do with it. And I'm like, yeah, I can understand. I said, and nobody would have listened to me. I could have been up there ringing bells and saying, it's going to be destroyed, get out, get out. They wouldn't have done anything. People. And I have to agree with them, the way they've been manipulated to see what is right and wrong by the side of the people that are controlling them, which are evil. Now, okay, that happened. After that happened, excuse me. After that happened, all of a sudden my name started disappearing from the internet. I had like 182,000 hits on Yahoo. I don't think Google was around yet. On Yahoo. And then like a month later I checked and I had only 6,000. And I'm like, what the hell? What happened to all the things? What, people didn't like what I didn't, what, what? I was all confused. But it kept going. Now, I believe it was 2007, the local newspaper is called the Suburban Trends, and it's pretty big circulation for the area of the Vortex and the surrounding towns. And apparently a newbie writer, straight out of college, and I believe the college was Syracuse, contacted me out of the blue and said he'd like to do an article about Wanacue and my discoveries and what's back there. So I said, sure. His name was Tim Fox. He's the staff writer there. He just became a staff writer. He was only there like a month before he got a hold of this story. Heard about me and got a hold of this story. And so I did the interview. Next week, somehow it slipped by everybody there, including the government, how it just came out. And in the trends, all of a sudden, a full-page article comes out about me, the vortex, my discoveries, and a picture of the dinosaur/dragon right there for everybody to see. And I thought that was, like, really cool. Now, I had talked to him the day before and asked him to send out a bunch of copies for me so I could sign them and hand them out to people and stuff. And he did, I guess. Well, it took about a week or so. All of a sudden, they arrived at my house, about 30 copies. And when they did, I called up to thank him. And the people, the writers, the staff writers, and the people that run things there said, Tim Fox is no longer with us. And I'm like, what? I said, I talked to him. His whole life he wanted to be this like great journalist. He was so happy to get this job to start him out. So what happened to him? And I was told that all of a sudden an offer for him to be some sort of archaeologist in the Middle East came up, and he left everything. Left the paper, no longer a reporter, blah, 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 and left. And I'm like, oh shit. So what happened was he got canceled. Now, I don't know if he was killed. I don't know. I never heard back from him. But he was taken out of that position immediately as soon as they realized that the story got out, and he disappeared. That's another one of the things that they like to do to people. At least they did back then about me, that knew about me. Now, after that, my name really started disappearing from the internet. And between 2007, when this article came out, and 2019, I was contacted by at least 12 networks and television shows about the paranormal, like about UFOs, about Bigfoot, about all kinds of stuff like that, by very excited producers of each show that would talk to me for like an hour, hour and a half, setting everything up on the phone for me to do an interview. Either they were going to send out camera crew or whatever. 12 times this happened. I counted them after a while. 12 times this happened. And then they would say, all right, we'll call you back the next day, and we'll make sure everything is set up, and then we'll get a crew out there. So the next day would come. I wouldn't hear anything. So the day after that, I would call them back. And every time of those 12 offers, the people either would not talk to me, didn't want anything to do with me, and hung up on me. Now, what the hell does that mean? Okay, I believe that they got a threat. My phone was obviously being watched, since NASA said they've been watching me for some time, for a long time, and they would contact the person and basically threaten them. And then when I would call back, they didn't want anything to do with me. No balls, these people, no balls. No balls. So that happened, and that kept information from getting out to the public. Now, what they did to Sargel 18 is called data removal off the internet. Data removal services significantly reduce the visibility of you and your information. Now, I just recently ran a Google search on Sargel 18 because when I started the Unchained, the Heaven Speaks and then videos, and then I went to Unchained, I had almost 30,000 hits, and I figured, all right, that's a good way to start. We'll build that up. I looked. I have over 1,000 followers on YouTube watching the videos. And 2 days ago, I went on and said, hey, or a couple days ago, I went on and said, all right, let me do a search. Let's see. I must be jumping now. And it went from like almost 30,000 to 765 references to me on Google. When I started the videos a couple months ago, there was almost 30,000. So there's more evidence. How the hell does that happen? Unless somebody is cleaning me off the net. And that person would not be good, or that organization. It would be evil. Now, go to number 8. Hold on. Oh, yeah, this one. Hold on. Now, the last TV show I did for Fox, major crews and all that, was in 2002, and it was called Real Scary Stories. And it was about the vortex and all, and they wanted a kids version of it, so I had kids around, and they did the show, and I did it with them and all that. And they first, Fox sent out a crew, a television crew and all, not the producer, and 3 hours after I got a hold of them, they were leveled and flawed. So they went back and they said, we're going to set everything up and we're going to come out tomorrow with other people and all and do the show. And I'm like, okay. So they get there the next day and they brought the actual producer. Because this producer heard things about me that he had to get in a car or get in the truck and come out and see what the hell I am and what the hell this is. And on his way there, I'll get to what happened on his way there. So when he got there, he said, would you come on out into your kitchen? Because they were in my big room setting everything up for the show. I'd like to talk to you. And I was like, okay. So we went out in the kitchen, sat down at the table. And he goes, I have to ask you something. First, I have to tell you something. He goes, I just got a phone call. I've been in the business 20 years doing this for this type of information. And I have never gotten a phone call like I just got before I reached your house. And I'm like, well, what was it? He said, I got a call from Fox that said they could do the show here, but they're not allowed to show my evidence or show me at all. And he goes, that has never happened. He goes, you're fantastic in front of the camera. I was like, well, I said, so what do you want to do? So they shot it in such a way. I appeared for like 2 seconds on it talking, and the rest was all about the kids and going to the vortex. But he got a call from Fox telling him, I don't go on television, I don't speak. Okay, that was strange. See, somebody finally did get to me before 2007, and they did that to him. Now, during this fantastic, evil 4 years that we're still trying to get over, that President Trump is trying to fix, is when I got attacked here in my home by a major demon on 7/22/2022 during Biden's reign of evil, because it became much stronger and powerful, and they took their shot to get me out of the way. And they killed me. But Devron picked me up, my soul up, brought me to the Silver City in heaven. They fixed me up, and I came back. Most people call it a near-death experience. I call it a dead experience, and you came back. So that didn't work. But they took their shot. I had to have brain surgery and everything. But that was after. Otherwise, I would have just stayed dead. But they didn't want that. Heaven has more for me to do. Now, so in summation, the world has been mostly blocked by the events I created and discovered. And bottom line, if I were all of you, I'd be upset and pissed. This info could have changed your reality over the last 27 years and life for the better. And that choice was taken away from 90% of the people in the world. Let's say about 10%. No, I have millions of followers, but they're all spread all over the world. I'm lucky to have even that. They have tried everything they could to make sure that you don't find out about me. And I just keep going. Hey, they killed me, sent a real powerful demon, smashed my head into a concrete floor 6 times, all over, killed me, and here I am, talking like it didn't even happen. That's not including the cancer a year later. I figured that was their farewell shot, but we got it covered. Devron has it covered, and I have it covered, and so does heaven. Now, all that sucks, right? That all this has been kept from you. You know, there are people out there that think that I'm a bullshitter because, what are you talking about? You did all this and it's not on the front page of papers and television shows about you and all that? And I said, yeah, that should tell you something. Because I've never been proven wrong. My evidence has been picked apart from the government to Disney. They can't find any manipulation. The world, the evil of the world, did not want you to know about me. But also that tells you that's how powerful I am. And I'm just getting started. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures and things, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to work with the viewer thing that I'm working with on here to show you. If I'm a little choppy, I'm still learning, but I wanted to get this out because that letter pissed me off. What do you mean I'm a fraud? What do you mean I can't be real? If anything, it tells you I am real, because every con man or Tom, Dick, and Harry with a story is all over the internet and television. Like I was before I became way too real for them. Where's my cigarettes? Ah, there we go. Okay, now. Right. Oh, did I show that picture? Oh, hold on. I'm not sure. I don't remember, so I'm just going to show it again. This is the newspaper article. UFO sightings 40 years ago have left impressions on some. That was in the trends that made that guy disappear. And here's a close-up so you could, like you see, his name, Wanacue, the paper, the date, and all. I think I forgot that. That's all right. I'm allowed. This is right off the cuff. I'm just throwing this out there tonight. Not messing around with these people. I have a lot more to do. And I'm doing it for you. Because, as I'll say every time, I ask nothing for this. No money. No allegiance. All I want you to do is hear and see it once. And when it comes time, it'll come back when you need it. That's been guaranteed me by Devron. So please tell people about these videos of mine. Pass them around. Put them up on search engines or something, you know, before they can completely wipe me out again. Okay, so let's try this. See if I can do this now. Hold on. Put this over here. And then we go to... Where am I? Oh, all right. I think I got it set up now. Okay, this one is, hold on. The meeting, if you remember, that I've told you about. What you see floating in midair, here I'll freeze it. Let me get to the good part, yeah. Floating in midair is the scroll of Enoch. What the hell happened there? All right. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, there you can see it better. The scroll of Enoch, the big alien Niju, he's an Andorian, and he's a doctor. And he's been with me for 20-some years. 28 years. Taking care of me. I always wondered why I needed a doctor. Now I understand. Underneath his chin is a green-skinned demon. And fighting what they're talking about, coming at them, is a monkey creature with long tendrils coming out of his head, with his fist in the air, and he was saying, no human can go any further than this human has. We will not allow it. Well, that didn't work for them either. But look at the scroll of Enoch. Isn't that fantastic? I love it. And you can see the wrinkling of the pages and stuff. And I'm going to show you more on this one. I'm going to show you more on this. Right here, if I do it. Oh, I do all this with all old tech, but I like it. Here, I took the picture and enhanced it a little better. Now you can really look at Niju's eyes and his head. This is what AI did. It brought this out. You can see the demon and his face under his chin, the monkey's face with his hand in the air, and you can clearly see the scroll of Enoch, the law, floating in midair during this little court battle, let's say, what it was. I've been through some great shit, man, and seen some stuff that, I don't know, people just wouldn't believe. All right, I think I'm done on that one. Yes, I am. Okay, now, let's get this. Now, I tried the AI on a number of pictures, and I told you that AI sees what we don't see, what the picture can't see, and it pulls it out and brings it out. So I tried a couple of pictures and see what came out, and this is what happened. Let me see here. There we go. This is the skull. Watch, I'll freeze it. Oh, well, it's tough to see. Hold on. Let me bring it back. See, it's the skull, and the skull turns in to a being. So that floating skull in midair, this is what AI says it is. It would make sense, too. It would make sense. Okay, let's stop that. Right. Now, oh, right. Okay, hold on. This one has me baffled because it makes sense to me because most evil, real downright evil, comes from females, comes from women. Some of the most evil women in history are just pure evil, and represented many times by things like dragons and werewolves and bats and creatures. Well, this is what AI pulled up on this. The dragon head, a woman. Let's do it again. Is that what it is? I cannot confirm this, but that is what AI brought out of that picture, which I thought was real cool. Now, this one, if you remember the evil woman from Wanacue, the teacher that was killed 100 years ago, and she appears and she tries to scare people, and she tried to scare me. She had a blue bell in her hand, green eyes, green skin, red eyes, green skin, hair, going, ah, you know, and I started laughing at her. So I tried that, and this is what came out of it, which also makes sense. There she is, a female body, a female person. There she is. Let's do it again. This is what AI sees. That's so cool. If you ask me, it's just so cool. And what did I do on that one? Isn't that the one I had already? I guess it is. Okay, so I guess that's it. Thought I had more, sorry. So, all right, let me just make sure everything's going right. Okay, so basically what I wanted to do was to get this off my chest in this video, that I've tried every single thing, and not just me. Organization, newspapers, television shows, radio shows, to get this information out to the world, because if you ask me, what I've done is just as important as Christopher Columbus discovering America, Henry Ford making the car, whoever designed the wheel, from some square wheels to round wheels. That's how important and drastic and intense and real this information is, and it's been kept from the general public, except for me now doing these videos, which I'm shocked that I haven't been pulled down out of that. Maybe I've lasted long enough to be able to bring it all out. So that's why I say, tell people. Oh, and please smash the like button, please, if you like the video. And tell people, spread these videos around. I get nothing out of it. I'm not looking to, but I'm looking to get this information out now while we have 2 years of God's favor with Donald Trump. And you see what he's doing, and he's going to do a hell of a lot more. And I really hate these far left people freaking out and still attacking them on every issue, and the cities that are saying they're going to defend and keep their illegal migrants in there. So basically what these sanctuary cities are saying, we don't want you coming to get our criminals, the criminals. We want them out there hurting people. Well, if you ask me, that's as evil as it gets. Okay, so you really got to be aware. And you really got to tune into these shows that I'm putting out, because I believe at one point in the near future, this information, if you remember it correctly, will save you and your family's life. I want everybody to please stay prayed up, and peace out.